City 911 operator 477.
Yes, I'm calling because someone, there is a guy on Figueroa in Olympic. There is a guy with a machete on it and with training people, stopping the traffic, and he's training people to kill him. And he's in a black Mustang. I think it's a black Mustang, but I just have to get away. But he's screaming right now and training people to that.
Is he white, Hispanic, or Asian?
He looks like an Indian.
Did this man really just lick this machete? Now, no joke. I do a lot of scenario-based training. I'm sure a lot of you guys that have followed my channel for any amount of time, you know that. If you haven't noticed that, go and check out Switch. It's another one. It's on our playlist. It's a phenomenal series where we switch the roles between law enforcement and the civilians. But nonetheless, I also do a lot of in-person scenario-based training. And one of the scenarios I do is about a man that is, out of his mind, and he's holding a machete and he's going crazy. And I tell the role player that they have to respond and act accordingly. Now, it's funny because when we actually do the breakdown and we talk about it together, people think I'm outside of my ever-living mind for even creating a scenario as such. And even in the scenario, there's a part where I act like the machete is my girlfriend and I kiss a machete. But I do it because I want people to realize that there's nothing far-fetched in the profession of law enforcement. Hence, Exhibit A, as we're watching right now.
But it's important that he parked his car in the middle of the street, and he has the machete.
What color shirt and pants is he wearing?
It's a gray. It's kind of a brown shirt.
Brown shorts and what color shirt?
Yeah, and he has short and he has some. Oh my God! Hold on. Well, he's moving now. He's moving now to the.
Kids, stay in school and don't do drugs.
Right there, left. Oh, fuck. No. Stay in the car. Stay in the car. Stay in the car. Stand by. No, park in space, bro. Stand by. Stand by. Get in, bro. Get in. Go. Get in. All right, we're good. Follow him because of the fucking pets. Stand by. Follow him because of pets.
So what the officer is saying, he's saying follow him because of the peds. What he's referring to is pedestrians. So the guy is clearly out of his mind, but this is a busy intersection, and this is downtown LA, so it's busy. If the officers don't stay with this guy, they risk the possible chance of him carjacking somebody or taking somebody hostage who's a pedestrian, just minding their own business. So that's why they have to stay with him the moment they find him. Let's continue to watch, because what happens next is he starts to put the officers' lives in danger, not necessarily by him himself, but also from their partners. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Stand by, Mike. Stand by. Drop it! Stand by. Get in. Get in the car. Get in. Stop! Trunk is open. Stop, bro! Shoot! Stop, bro! Fucking shoot yourself! Get in. Hey, pursuit.
All right, get into the car now. Loading up his driver. And he's on the go southbound on Figueroa.
Don't ask me in pursuit. Figueroa, south of 11th, on that vehicle.
I'm highly surprised that the streets weren't busier in downtown LA, because if you haven't gone down there, that place is a nightmare trying to navigate. So the streets are pretty fairly open. The officers get into a vehicle pursuit now. So now it's continued to evolve from one thing to another, and they're still trying to figure out how they're going to bring this thing to a close. I remember as a police officer, when I would get into vehicle pursuits with people, I would always be thinking like, man, how are we going to stop this? Like, what is the next best thing that we can do to bring this thing to a close? But it's always rapidly evolving. Your decision-making ability has to be on point, because one wrong move can cost you everything. So these officers, in their mind, they're trying to figure out a game plan for what's going to happen, but the suspect is the one that actually is going to dictate the next thing that happens.
29, it's going to be for an ADW on appeal.
ADW is assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer.
Stand by, Mike. Stand by. He's going around. My side. Stand by.
Just south of
Stand by. We're good.
just north of Pico.
Stand by.
All right, just trying to wrap another officer.
Stand by.
And what's the
Stand by. Crossfire, bro. Crossfire. Got it.
So you notice what they said? They said crossfire. This is what I was referring to earlier. The suspect is in the middle of these officers, and now as he's in the middle of them, he's creating a dire scenario for these officers because the moment he decides to go after one of these officers, they're going to have to utilize a level of deadly force. But when they do so, they have to be very, very cautious on using it when their officers, their partners are behind him. This is why, as officers, we always have to have in the back of our mind an understanding of where our partners are at, where pedestrians are at, what's our backstop and beyond. Anytime at the range, one of the range rules is it says be aware of your backstop and beyond. And it's not just a training safety rule, it's also used in the field simply because we always want to know what is behind the target or the threat that we're actually shooting at, simply because you don't want to catch somebody in the crossfire. In this scenario, it's very, very possible that they could have caught their partners in the event that they have to utilize fatal force.
Fuck! You good? Stand by, dude. Stand by. It's gonna go around in circles. Stand by. Crossfire, bro. Fuck! Stop it, man! Stop it! Stand by! Stand by! Stand by, Mike! Crossfire, bro. Fuck! Stop! Stop right now! Shots fired, officer.
Now, for the sake of making sure we stay within the guidelines of YouTube, we had to blur out a lot of that last portion of the video. But the suspect ends up running at the officers with the machete in his hands, and the officers elected to unalive him in order to stop that threat. What's also pretty cool nowadays is with technology, it allows us to see multiple camera angles and video from different officers and their perspective. Every officer on any critical incident is always going to have a different perspective than their partner. And even though we go through the same standardized training and we are trained to respond to threats a certain way, it doesn't change the way an individual officer may feel, just simply because we all think differently from one another. So by having those extra body cam footage, that's why these agencies will put it out, because every officer has a unique vantage point. They saw it differently and they're going to react differently. They're going to react according to what they saw, not what necessarily their partners told them to do. These officers did a phenomenal job coordinating this. I mean, this is a very difficult thing to do, especially as rapidly as it was evolving. What started as a crazy man out there for a call for service and escalated to this guy getting into a vehicle pursuit, and now it escalates to them charging at one of the officers. I mean, it's talk about a difficult task. The last thing I want to highlight is I keep bringing this up, but there has always been so many people that talk about they need to get social workers involved. Let's just say this guy was mentally ill and he was struggling. This would have not been the time for the social worker to get involved. Social workers are supposed to get involved when they're in a contained environment, meaning this guy is not on a good one. This guy is in a very, very controlled environment, and they can get him more resources and the resources he needs to end up, to help himself with his whatever his situation is. Unless a social worker is trained tactically to respond to incidents and scenarios like this is why I'm not saying social workers are not needed, but this is why social workers do not respond to calls for service like this. With that being said, let's move on to the very last video. And this last one, let me tell you, this is a doozy. When I was in the academy, they trained us on a lot of different things. They trained us on how to respond to mentally ill calls. They trained us to respond to domestic violence calls for service and so many other things. But the reality is you will never, ever be able to train an officer for everything. And as a former training officer, I used to always tell my new trainees, hey, look, I can give you the most. I can tell you about this. I can tell you about that. But it's impossible for me to train you for every scenario that you're going to encounter. Just simply because in law enforcement, there's always going to be something that blows your mind.